Nissan's doing pretty okay right now. I'm reviewing a Pathfinder at the moment. There's not a whole lot of bad things for me to say about it. That's great. I really like it overall. Like the design, like how it rides. I like a lot of Nissan products, especially the ones that don't use a CVT. In 2023, we saw a refreshed Sentra. We got a refreshed Rogue. I also test drove the Rogue this past year.
Okay.
Like the 3-cylinder turbo, still held back by the CVT. The Z Nismo came out. Check out my driving impressions of the Z Nismo. That thing is a lot of fun. Pretty much vaporware, very hard to get. And the Maxima met its end in 2023. Rest in peace, Maxima. We'll never see you again unless it comes out as an EV. We'll talk about that in a little bit. 2024, we're supposed to get the redesign of the kicks. I think it was actually originally planned for 2023 for the redesign of the kicks, but there was something that happened in Mexico where the molds for the kicks got stolen. So yeah, Nissan kicks redesign coming in 2024. I'm excited for it. I'd love to see a hybrid version of it. We'll talk about that in a little bit, but Nissan Leaf is getting a redesign in 2024. Finally, right? It's one of the more affordable EVs, but it's also one of the most non-competitive EVs. It doesn't have active cooling for the battery packs, which feels like that's outdated by 20 years at this point. But the Leaf is no longer going to be produced in America. It's going to be produced in Great Britain, and it would have to be imported from Great Britain into the United States, and therefore it won't qualify for the EV tax credit unless you lease it. And I think leasing is the best way to handle any electric vehicle in the 2020s because battery technology, software, and all the research and development pouring into EVs makes these things essentially outdated within a year or two. So leasing them is great. You can get rid of it at the end of 3 years or whatever your lease term is and move on to the next one. Anyways, I went off the rail there. But yeah, that's how you qualify for the Leaf's tax credits. You're going to have to lease it in 2024. Hopefully we get it in 2024. It will be announced in 2024. We might not see it until 2025 or so, but time will tell. We'll get a new Armada. Well, the new Armada will have twin turbo V6, 9-speed automatic, I believe, and it's going to have tons of power, more power likely than we see the twin turbo V6 and not the Sequoia, I should say maybe the LX, because it has bigger displacement from what I'm hearing. I'm hearing over close to 4-liter twin turbo V6. This thing's going to be a beast. It's going to have tons of power and torque, and I can't wait for it. However, I'm going to miss the V8. I love the V8, the 5.6 liter in the Armada as well as a QX80. Buttery smooth. It's going to be super reliable. So snap up those V8 Armadas while you can. Should get a refresh on the Pathfinder next year, or should I say in 2024 as well. And mainly just probably bigger screen, I would say, than the one I'm driving this week. And slightly different styling. We know about that Cascade front grille that we saw that was debuted in China for the Pathfinder. I think that'll come as a refresh this year in 2024. Titan is finally meeting its end. The writing has been on the wall for years now. It got canceled in Canada a couple of years ago, and it was just a matter of time before it finally ended production as Nissan bails out of its full-size pickup truck in 2024. It's been a slow death for it. 2025 is kind of hard to say what's going on there. I'm banking on the Murano to get a redesign as well as a hybrid. Finally, Nissan bringing their e-power technology, their series hybrid technology into North America. Finally, it's been in Europe. It's been in Japan for many, many years now, maybe even as long as a decade. And we're finally getting it. And I hope the Ultima gets it in 2025. Ultima is probably going to redesign as well in 2025. So it should come out with a hybrid, and the Murano coming out with a redesign and a hybrid as well. I'm surprised they're still going to make the Murano, to be honest, because the Rogue is it's good and it kind of fits the bill, but we'll see. 2026 is also, we got hard deadlines for Nissan. EV sedan on a new platform built in Canton, Mississippi. That should be maybe the next Maxima. They could call it the Skyline as well if they wanted to. I think that would be pretty cool. It'd get more people talking about it than if it was called Maxima. We'll also have an EV crossover. It could be a coupe crossover styled on that new platform as well, coming out of Canton, Mississippi. Who knows what's going to happen to Aria, because Aria is kind of like a coupe crossover, but I don't know what they're going to do with it. Maybe they give it a redesign and rebadge it as an Infiniti or something, which they should have done with the Aria. The current Aria should be an Infiniti instead of a Nissan, but it is what it is. So yeah, I don't know what they're going to do with the Aria. It could get a refresh, or they could can it because they have new EV structures being built in North America that qualify for the EV tax credit. Sentra should get a redesign. Maybe we'll see a hybrid on it. That's a possibility. They have e-Power on like the No Ara, which is a similar sized vehicle over in Japan. So hopefully that gets a hybrid as well. Who knows what's going to happen to the GTR by 2026? I think the next one's supposed to be fully electric. I feel like I hear different reports on the GTR every week. In 2027, I'm hoping for the EV pickup to come out. Nissan has pretty much said that they're very interested in making an EV small pickup truck. We should be getting a refresh on the Frontier in 2027, and the Rogue will be getting a redesign, and of course it would be coming with hybrid power at that point as well with the e-Power technology. So Nissan, I feel like their lineup is, it's going to get them through, right? With the changing decade here, and the EV sedan was supposed to come out in 2025. They got pushed back to 2026. If you guys are excited for Nissan, comment down below. I hope they surprise me, because what I talked about today is it's very safe from them, but with a company that's not making a lot of profit. They're also, I forgot to mention this, are also putting in a big investment into Renault's EV Ampere platform and software. So we could be seeing those vehicles in the later half of the 2020s, but that is all like, it's way too cloudy and murky in my crystal ball to predict anything with Renault and their EVs. But I'll see you in the comments with Nissan. What am I most excited for? Oh, the new Armada. Love the Armada, long live the Armada and the V8. What is Infiniti bringing for us in 2024 and beyond? That's what we're going to talk about right now. I just came back from Japan. Infiniti debuted there, kind of the replacement for the Skyline / Q50 sedan. The silhouette of it looked really, really cool. So if we look back in 2023, it was a nothing burger for Infiniti. I thought they were going to kill off the Q60. It's still limping along. And they didn't bring out any new models that I'm aware of. No refreshes, no redesigns. So 2024, as we look forward, we finally get a nugget. The QX80 getting a redesign based off of the Armada and the Nissan Patrol. Big fat twin turbo V6 replacing the V8. I can't wait to test it. I'm going to miss the V8, but this thing is going to smoke it in terms of torque and power. And we already know what the new QX80 looks like for the most part. There's going to be some differences with the monograph that they showed, but stunning vehicle, great design on it. Can't wait to see that vehicle come by the end of 2024. Not exactly sure when it's going to be available in this year, but yes, it will be coming, and that's really the only thing they have going for them. And it's possible that the Q50 gets limped on with no changes for another year, their best-selling sedan. 2025, QX60, getting a little refresh. The QX60 still feels new. It's been on the road essentially since the end of 2021, but production was not there until, I think, at the end of 2022, something like that. So the QX60, it's a fancier version of the Pathfinder. The Pathfinder is a pretty good place to start with, and the QX60 has incredible looks. I think it's one of the best looking three-row crossovers on the market. That's not a super expensive Range Rover or something, but QX60 getting a refresh in 2025. Praying to the gods of Mount Fuji, we get a redesigned QX50 and QX55 in 2025. They get rid of the Jacko CVT on it, give us a 9-speed auto. And I don't think we'll see hybrids in the Infiniti lineup, because I think they're going to prioritize electrified vehicles, kind of like what Acura is doing with full EVs and skipping hybrids. Remember, Infiniti used to have hybrids, and I saw a funny article lately that, well, not funny for the guy, but his battery pack went out on his Q50 hybrid. Oh, man, just stupid. QX65 could be coming in 2025. This is a coupe crossover variant of the QX60. Don't know what to think of it. Maybe it shares actually a lot with the new Murano that's supposed to come out at the same time. It's just hard to say. I would like to see Infiniti come out with a QX40 in 2025. They used to have the QX30? And it shared a lot with the GLA 250 from Mercedes. But yeah, they don't have any entry-level crossover like a Lexus UX for them to bank on. So it'd be cool to see a QX40 in the lineup, even though I doubt it's going to happen. But hopefully. 2026. We have some hard deadlines coming, mainly because Nissan is finally making a new electric platform in Canton, Mississippi. We'll see EVs and EV sedans and EV crossovers coming off of that. And so those are both supposed to hit in 2026 for Infiniti. And then anything after that is murky. Infiniti just has a super small lineup. It's incredibly dated. The QX60 is the only vehicle I think is worth buying right now. The QX80 is overpriced because it's so old, and you can buy old ones that are the same thing. So yeah, QX60 currently is the only Infiniti that I really, really like. The rest of them, I'd rather get an Armada over QX80 as well and save some money. So I'll see you guys down in the comments about Infiniti. What are your thoughts about them? Do you think their future is getting better? Or do you think that their time is still limited? I'm just not sure what the future of Infiniti is. They were planning to go the Nissan Plus route a few years back. They kind of already are Nissan Plus, so no one really knew what that meant because nothing that they have is really unique in their lineup because it's all based off of Nissan products. Anyways, you can say the same thing mainly with Lexus, but they have a few models like the LS, like the LC, like the RC and the IS that don't share anything with the Toyota platforms. But yeah, Infiniti, want them to do well. I just don't know why you would buy an Infiniti over the competition unless you get a really good deal on a QX60.